What's up, meatbags? It's the often imitated, never duplicated Tony TGD. Today we got to talk about Michael B, Arcade One Up, and rules for thee, but not for me. But before we get into it, let me just remind you to like the video, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and share this with all your Arcade One Up. Now, on September 11th, good friend of the channel, buddy, amigo, pal, Potion Sword Run, he put up this video talking about Michael B, the Game Genie, and that he might be misleading his viewers, his new viewers, because they don't know his association with Arcade One Up in that whole group. So Potion Sword Run goes through it. He discusses the whole thing. If you haven't watched the video, I suggest going over to the channel. Like I said, he is a friend of the channel, new channel member coming up. So look forward to that. Check his video out. It's very informative. But the gist of it is Michael B is not disclosing his relationship with Arcade One Up and the higher ups there. So what do we have here? We have this video. I go into the comment section as I always do because I'm always everywhere, and I say, hey, should I look into this? Do I gotta look into this, or do you got this one, Potion Sword Run? And of course, Potion says, Tony, go ahead, take a look into this if you got time. Look. Now, in the comment section, you got all the usual suspects, all the Arcade One-Up fans, including Kevgret and the Rexer Show. That's right, they're both in there. And Rexer happened to reach out to Michael B, the Game Genie, to inform him that I may be looking into this whole fiasco. You might be wondering, how do I know this? How do I know that Rexer reached out to Michael B? Well, because Michael B reached out to me. That's right. As soon as Rexer told him, hey, Tony might be looking into this, Michael B reached out to me and said, hey, Tony, what is it that I need to do? I'm confused. I'm not exactly sure what it is I need to do in order to be on the up and up, compliant. Realistically, the FTC is probably not coming down on small YouTubers, but it still is in their guidelines. It still is their rules. And we should be looking to keep the consumer informed because I am a consumer advocate. That's what I do, right? That's what I look out for, the consumer. And so me and Michael B had a discussion. And wouldn't you know it, Michael B took what I said. This is Michael B's latest video as of the recording of this video. It is the Dungeons & Dragons new pinball pickup. Now, if we scroll down here to the description section, hit the more button. As you can see, there is a disclaimer. That's right, disclaimer. It says, disclaimer, hey guys, just so you know, I have an NDA with Arcade One-Up for the beta tester program that prevents me from discussing information from that program, and I participate in that One-Up show temporarily, and Arcade One-Up date show upcoming on the Arcade One-Up YouTube channel. I do not have a contract or NDA for these appearances, nor do I receive compensation. I also have an NDA with @Games for their YouTube influencer program, and am not allowed to discuss information from that program until the @Games set embargo dates. Please consider this information while watching my content. Love you guys, lol. So there it is. Complete disclaimer. Michael B took what we said to heart, and he made it right. He made it right because he cares about the consumer almost as much as I do. Now, I will say, Mike, if you're watching this, if you see this video, the only thing that I would recommend is where you got the hashtag pinball, hashtag Dungeons and Dragons, put those at the end of the description. That way your disclaimer is not hidden behind the more. That way the people can clearly see there's a disclaimer, then they'll hit the more button if they're interested, right? It's got to be a little more apparent. But other than that, this is beautiful. This is lovely. I love seeing creators doing the right thing. I don't want to make videos on people. I don't want to be yelling at people and calling people names. I just want to enjoy my time on YouTube as much as you do, right? We're all just people trying to have fun. So I love when this kind of thing happens because it means that people are actually listening. People actually care. And I'm actually making a difference. I feel good. It makes me feel. Now, as far as I'm aware, this is not an @Games or Arcade One-Up pinball machine. It's just a pinball machine. So Mike did not have a verbal disclaimer in the video, so that's fine, right? I mean, it's not relevant to this particular video, but that disclaimer he has in the description, I know for a fact that Mike has put that as his default upload. So every video that he makes, that disclaimer will be there automatically. He doesn't even have to type it in anymore. It just automatically goes in there. And I'm sure when Mike does talk about Arcade One-Up or @Games products, he's going to mention the disclaimer or mention a version of the disclaimer in his video proper. I'm positive, almost positive on that. What I'm not positive is that other people in the Arcade 1-Up community understand this. Now, this here is the Rexer Show's channel. This is best new gaming product never been done before. GRS, SNK, Akari, Super Joystick. The Rexer Show. This is on his channel. This is live stream. This Rexer Show, Kevgret, and Glenn's Retro Show. The man who makes the stick, the man who is the GRS in the title. Now, for all of Rexer's complaining, for all of Rexer's finger pointing, and really hammering home how Michael B is a bad guy, Rexer doesn't disclose in this video that he is close personal friends with Glenn. That's right. Rexer and Glenn are friends, close personal friends. And this whole stream is about a product that Glenn is trying to sell. So you see where there might be a conflict of interest. People not knowing that Rexer is actually friends with Glenn in real life might not know that, and they might assume that everything he says about the stick is on the up and up. Now, if you understand that they are friends, you might have some doubts. You might question whether or not Rexer is telling the truth, right? That's why disclaimers exist. You put the disclaimer out there to give the consumer all the information, and then they make the decision whether or not to trust the person talking to them, right? So Rexer is withholding this information from his viewing audience. Now, it might surprise you that this isn't the only. Now, this here is a video on Rexer's channel. It is 5 reasons I'm fed up with the 3/4 scale arcade YouTubers. And in this video, Rexer is very, very upset that other people are not supporting Glenn. They're not giving Glenn time on their channel. They're not giving Glenn shout outs for his new stick. They're not promoting his product. People are not pushing the Glenn's Retro Show arcade stick that's up for pre-order. And this makes Rexer very upset. He's very upset with this. He mentions it throughout the video. What he doesn't mention throughout the video is, once again, that he is friends with Glenn. So if you're not familiar with these individuals, if you didn't know any better and just happened upon this video and you're like, wow, this guy Rexer is really passionate about the arcade community supporting one of their own, because he wants the arcade community to do the right thing. But if you knew that he was friends with Glenn, maybe you might think that his pushing of the Glenn's Retro Show stick might have ulterior motives, right? He's doing something for his friend. It might not be the best product. It might not be what the community needs or wants. But because he's friends with Glenn, he's pushing the product. You see, that's why, again, disclaimers exist, to give the consumer all the information so they can make up their mind. Now, again, Rexer is really good at policing other people. He's really good at pointing out the flaws in other people. But when it comes to Rexer, he really, really ignores all the things that he does. And, like I said at the top of the show, rules for thee, not for me, I guess, right? Michael B had an issue. He took care of it. Hopefully, Rexer can understand that he also has an issue, and he should also take care of it. But until next time, as always, love, peace, booty grease.